Hi, this is Adam Kunzmiller with BoardGameGeek at Gen Con 2016, and I'm joined by Brett Sobel with Nauvoo Games, and we're here to talk about Stockpile Continuing Corruption and expansion to Stockpile. So what does Stockpile Continuing Corruption bring to the table?
Stockpile Continuing Corruption contains 4 modules which you can play all together for a huge strategic punch, or add piece by piece to customize your experience for Stockpile and add some unique new things to the game. So, the first of those modules are these forecast dice. So, check those out.
Oh, these are nice.
So if you're familiar with the base game, Stockpile contains the same 6 forecast cards, but with the expansion, we are now adding 16 new forecast cards, all right here, which come with the game, and they create a ton of more variability in terms of the market round to round. So we have a whole bunch of new forecast cards. Things can move up by as much as 5, down by as much as 4, or completely change the cash available on the table with new dividends and so forth. So the way it works, each round you will roll these 6 beautiful dice, and this will determine which of the new forecast cards you will grab for the round, and you will pair those with the company cards as normal. We provided a nice little annual forecast board that you can slot these in so that everyone is able to see what the dice have resulted in this turn. So that way everyone still has the same information, but the information that you're going to be provided each round is going to change based on the dice roll.
Okay, and so that's one kind of standalone little expansion.
Yep.
So what else do we have?
The second one that we have these new tax cards and commodity cards. So one of the cool things that you can do with this is after all the cards in the regular game have been played out onto their stockpiles, you will now draw one of these commodity cards, and there's 6 different types of commodity cards. There are cattle, corn, natural gas, oil, platinum, and gold, which is under here, I think, somewhere. There it is. So there's 6 new types of commodity cards that you can go after, and the way it works is you're looking to get different sets of these commodity cards. So different types are valuable, and they're valuable at the end of the game. So if you can see here on this reference card, based on the number of different unique commodity cards that you collect, you are able to gain a huge endgame bonus. So if you collect all 6 different types, it's $48,000. But that only happens at the end of the game. So you really need to balance how much you're willing to pay for that long-term value with your short-term cash on hand. That creates a really interesting decision in the game. As another element of this same module, there's also these tax cards, a bunch of them, and tax cards are bad, as we all know. So you're trying to dodge taxes to continue this corrupt theme of insider trading that we have and avoid big penalties at the end of the game.
Okay, and so that's the second module?
Yep.
All right, what else do we have?
The third module that we have, sorry to make you clean
that's
up
okay.
all this, but thank you. The third module that we have are bonds. So everyone's familiar with stocks as an investment vehicle, but not everybody knows about bonds. Bonds are pretty straightforward in Stockpile. You're allowed to invest in bonds at the beginning of the round, and they provide a mini engine building element to the game that was not present before. Essentially, you can commit your cash at the beginning of the round to guarantee yourself risk-free returns in the future, allowing you to build an investment engine of cash flow so that you can continue to bid in future rounds. And if you have a lot of excess cash on hand, you can really crank away and develop a huge sustainable lead for yourself in the game. So those are bonds.
Okay.
And they're in denominations of 1 and 5.
Got it.
So the final piece that's a fan favorite from the original are these new 6 investor cards. They provide new powers that we haven't seen before. Most of them involve different things with the expansion, but some of them can be used even with the base game alone. For example, Clever Shonda, she is allowed to discard 1 stock to split any other stock in the game. That kind of ability hadn't been seen before because it really takes experienced players to know how to use these abilities
when
effectively.
it makes sense to do such things.
That's right. So some of these definitely increase the skill cap of the game and provide more play strategies for everyone to enjoy.
Okay.
And there's also a few other niceties included with the expansion.
Some quality of life improvements.
That's exactly what I'd call them. little things to remind people of the majority bonuses in Stockpile that were not present before. It was often easy to forget, especially for new players or when teaching the game, and we heard from our playtesters that this was one thing that they'd really enjoy. So this is part of the Kickstarter stretch goals that we unlocked, and they'll actually be with every single copy of the game. Okay. In addition, we have some new nice money cards for 100K. Helps when you're counting your endgame score, so that way you don't have to make a bunch of change and that sort of thing.
Now, if somebody were to take all of these and add them into the game, how much extra time would it add to the game?
Actually, really, I mean, your first time, it may add about 20 to 25 minutes your first time through. But once you're familiar with it, it really only takes about 15 minutes extra on top of the game. So you're still looking between 45 minutes to an hour of playtime for Stockpile.
All right, well, great. Thanks, Brett, for walking us through the expansion contents.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you guys can enjoy Stockpile and the new expansion, Continuing Corruption.